dear faculty and staff, dear families, dear friends, and most importantly, dear classmates. I feel more than honored to stand here today. When I applied to INSEAD, I would have never imagined holding a speech in front of all of you, let alone at our commencement. So thank you for giving me this honor and listening to me for the next couple of minutes. I hope you will find them valuable in one way or the other. Before I start, let me also take this opportunity to say thank you to those who enabled us to pursue this year. Dear parents, dear loved ones, dear friends and investors, in the name of the class, thank you. Today, I do not want to offer a review of the past 10 months. All of you have made very different experiences, and who am I to sum them up for you? Also, a review is kind of looking backwards, and I prefer looking forward. So let me reflect on the past year and use it as a lens for the future. Today, I also do not see myself in the position of telling you what to think, feel, or do when you leave INSEAD. I am just in the same position as you are, and as there's probably no universal answer, I believe you can decide this better for yourselves. Now, let me take you back 10 months when we started the year in Fontainebleau. I bet all of us arrived with nervousness. How will the year be? And will I enjoy it? Who would be my classmates? And above all, would I fit in? In the blink of an eye, we were living the dream. With newly found friends, we explored Fontainebleau, Paris, and Europe. We tried new food at national dinners and enjoyed drinks and barbecues together. We recently transitioned to Singapore, which became our gateway to discover Southeast Asia. We partied together on the Bali sunset, and it all seemed to be made for eternity. In the blink of an eye, we are here today. It is commencement, and recently a good MIM friend asked me a question which is all too pertinent today. Can life get any better after INSEAD? For a long moment, there was silence. And yes, it is a hard question, and yet it is also a very relevant question as our time here comes to a close. This question made me think a lot, and as we're about to leave INSEAD, I thought I might offer you some perspectives on this question in the hope you find one or the other helpful as you enter the next stage of your lives. First off, I believe the answer is yes. Life can and will become better after INSEAD. After all, it would be kind of sad if this was the peak. Imagine you invested so much time and effort and money into an experience that puts you on track for a brighter future, and now suddenly this was the peak, and it will only go downwards from here. No, this cannot be true. Now, I also firmly believe that life will not just magically become better. Happiness in life is probably the result of what you make of it. Because in the end, as in the words of Clay Christensen, your decisions about allocating your personal time, your energy, and your talent ultimately shape your life strategy. So, how can we make the most out of it? In answering this question, let's first think about what made the past 10 months so great. Was life at INSEAD so good because we had no worries and no stress? Because everything was comfortable and because there were no struggles? Because we were fortunate enough to enjoy trips around the world and also party more than enough? No, I do not think this is true, because it was not all fairy tales. There were struggles, be it finding your place in a class as diverse as it can possibly get on the other side of the planet, be it job search or be it personal matters. And would the trips and parties have been as fun were we to do them alone, just by ourselves? I came to the conclusion that the reasons INSEAD was so great have nothing to do with what appears on the surface and on Instagram feeds. For me, the reasons are the following. At INSEAD, we met extraordinary people. Look around you. All of us were strangers a year ago, and now deep friendships have formed. Some of you have found loved ones, and we as a class supported each other and gave each other a home during the last 10 months. We felt deep human connection. INSEAD offered us also an unparalleled environment for personal growth. For a moment, reflect back on who you were when you started the program. I bet each and every one of you grew in areas that were important to you, be it your presence, be it your confidence or your charisma, be it soft skills, hard skills, or academic learnings. INSEAD opened up doors to pursue tremendous opportunities. I believe we found an enabling environment characterized by an abundance of empowering people and resources. And I'm not only referring to job search. Some of you started initiatives, such as the Funds for Good or the Health Week. Others found the courage to contribute to classes and group work that were as far away from their undergrad as they can possibly get. And others introduced us to their culture through national dinners, through Diwali festivals, Lunar New Year, and shopping trips at Japanese supermarkets. Crucially, INSEAD offered a safe space to step out of your comfort zone and grab opportunities that you might have let slip otherwise. INSEAD was also a source of inspiration, at least it was for me. I learned so much from you, and I dare to believe that all of you learned one thing or the other from your classmates. Similarly, the trips around the world might have inspired you, the classes might have inspired you, or the many events and initiatives that happened on and off campus in the last 10 months. INSEAD provided an environment of freedom. Unconstrained by fixed working hours or other expectations, we could very much decide ourselves what to think, say, and do. And we had as much power over our calendars as we will rarely have going forward. And finally, I believe INSEAD mattered to each and every one of you. We all went to great length to apply to this program, and we chose it among the options we had. So we all must have found purpose and meaning in this program. Now, as we go out into the real world, I urge you, do not lose sight of what made INSEAD great for you, and seek to build a life for you where these elements are present. Let me relate back to a few elements of the famous MIM mission statement. Number 1, decide strategically. Virtually all doors are open to you, and it is upon you to decide which one to take. But remember, as Steve Jobs put it in his 2005 Stanford Commencement address, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So pursue what feels right to you in the moment, because life will happen and take twists and turns that you do not foresee. Number 2, engage fully. Life will not just magically become better. It will take effort. And yet, as it took effort to get where we are today, the rewards will be magnitudes greater. And I believe we can all feel this right now. Again, quoting Steve Jobs, you have got to find what you love in your work and in your relationships. And if you haven't found it yet, keep looking and do not settle. Number 3, take control. It is your life, and it will be what you make of it. And while you cannot decide everything that happens in your life, you can decide how to take it. Referencing Steve Jobs again, your time is limited, so do not waste it living someone else's life. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Finally, we have number 4, give, give, get. I firmly believe that life is not a zero-sum game. The more you give, the more you will get. Although perhaps not immediately. Borrowing some elements from Clay Christensen's TED Talk, don't be fooled by only focusing on what gives you an immediate sense of achievement, such as getting a promotion or closing a deal. Some investments do not pay off immediately. For example, investments in your friends and family. Yet, do not fall into the trap of failing to make these investments, because your friendships and your family are probably some of the most important gifts you take with you from INSEAD. So keep on giving. Dear friends, I feel immensely privileged to have spent the last 10 months with you. Thanks to you, I experienced the often quoted insert spirit, or as Augusta and David called it, the insert bond. And while it might mean something different for every one of you, for me it means dealing with each other through integrity and empathy. It means being open towards the new and pursuing life with energy and drive, while all along having a smile on your face and not taking yourselves too seriously. So as you go out, I wish that you carry what insert meant to you in your heart and mind, and that you shine it on those around you. And I wish that we all stay friends for many years to come. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the best in your endeavors. And I firmly believe it is not just me. Look to your left and look to your right. All of us will be here to support you. Thank you.